Hello golfers, Eric Brzezinski here with day 9. Today we're going to do one of my favorite drills. It's a very simple drill. All you need is an alignment stick and like a 6-iron or so. First, some education. A lot of golfers have a lot of problems with the downswing. We've talked about some of that stuff, the way the right arm works, kind of up to the top of the backswing, the way you can kind of twist your wrist on the downswing to get a little bit of toe down, some things like that. But today we're going to talk about some more dynamic things, the way the arms move, the way this elbow kind of gets in front of your right hip, things like that. We see from a lot of golfers some common problems, and I'll just go over those first. We'll see some golfers come down, they'll get to the top, and they're pretty good. And then on the downswing, it becomes all about turning, and their arms just stay back here. Whether they've heard to just turn and let their arms do nothing, or something, I don't know. Sometimes we see it from a lot of juniors. They'll get to the top, and then they'll just turn, and their arms will just hang back here forever. Their hips will often be wide open. Their arms are still back here, and then they hit, and the impact looks a lot like this. So that's a pretty common problem. And honestly, that's the best thing that this drill helps fix. We see some other people, another problem we'll see some people have heard you need to narrow this arc, right? Either out to the club head or with their elbow. So we'll see some people go like this and really try to like pull down and really get this elbow in front, or do this and like really narrow that thing, that angle, because it gets the elbow in front of the hip. So we don't really want to see this a ton, right? Or narrowing like that. This drill will also help with that. We'll see some people from the down the line here, camera here, we'll see some people who spin and their arms come down. It's not like they're just spinning like this, but we'll see them spin and carry the arms out. Oftentimes that coordinates with a weight shift that's not really going forward, but we'll see this, a spin that carries the arms out, and then they have to hit across it like that. And we'll see, finally, from some other people, we'll see a backswing that's good, and they know they want to hit out at the ball. So at the top of their backswing, what they'll do is they'll be here, and some people will actually take the club and move their hands deeper in transition. That gets the elbow behind that shirt seam that we've talked about. So they'll go like this, and then they'll drop their hands back here, and then they're stuck as heck and have to pivot hard or throw their arms out or do something like that. So we know from studying a lot of golfers too that a lot of speed comes from the arms. You could actually, if you somewhat tried to limit how much your chest rotates, how much your hips rotate, you could actually hit the ball pretty hard just swinging just with your arms. You can generate some club head speed with that, trying to limit this. So a lot of speed comes from the arms, so this helps that. It really helps the golfers who do this and almost contribute no speed with their arms. And we also know that ideally this trail elbow will get in front of this hip. What we don't like to see is obviously golfers rotating and then this trail elbow getting stuck behind that trail hip. Unless they're Jim Furyk. Jim, if you're watching, keep doing what you're doing, love it. But for most golfers, that tends to cause problems. So we're going to start with an alignment stick. And the first drill with the alignment stick is to just grip with your left hand there and your right hand here. You can go a little wider, but about leg width apart, or a little bit wider, outside edges of your hips, but right in here is good. And what you're going to do, you're going to make a backswing, and then rather than going like this or some of those other moves we've seen, you're going to swing to the top, maintaining some good space here. You're not going to go like this and really fold it. You're going to swing to the top, stay wide, and then you're going to go, and I want you to snap that stick really hard, like you're trying to break it. Okay, so you can actually hit the ground a few times. So it teaches you to engage your muscles, both of your arms coming down very fast, but also then some braking muscles, not E-A-K-I-N-G, but B-R-A-K-I-N-G, slamming on the brakes, right? That engages some core. You can get winded doing this, so trust me. I tend to hold my breath too when I'm swinging, so That's not good. But do that a few times. What you'll notice from the down the line camera is I'm not going out like this. I'm not going like that. I'm not tucking that right elbow in or narrowing or doing anything like that. I'm also not like going like routing everything way behind me or something like that. I go here, and by snapping that hand down, by snapping that stick down in front of me, that right elbow gets in front of that right hip. Good. Then I want you to do it with a club. If it's a little too heavy to start, you can start with this end. It's obviously not going to flex as much, but I'd really prefer, if you can try, go with the normal way, right? If it's a little heavy for you, just grip down a little further. That way it won't be quite as much force, but try to grip it just past the end of the grip. Okay, so. You'll really feel the back of this left arm pulling down, this right elbow extending out, and that right hip, the right elbow getting in front of that right hip. Okay, so 2 minutes of the stick. Trust me, you'll probably have to take a break a few times. 1 minute of the 6-iron. Take a break. Do it again. So 2 minutes, 1 minute, then repeat. Okay? One last thing. Don't forget, as you're doing this, don't just spin and leave your weight back. Go ahead and let your hips get that little bit forward. Okay, so here, let those hips go a little forward. I'll see you again tomorrow.